Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. First of all, can we talk about my makeup? Like, I love it so much. I put like purple in my inner corners, and yeah, I'm just feeling this vibe today. So today I'm gonna be talking about my favorite K-pop albums of all time. If you guys know, or if you don't know, now you know. I've been a K-pop stan for almost 9 years now, and I've been buying albums since 2018. That's the time where they sort of started to sell K-pop albums in my country. I just love listening to K-pop. I love listening to a lot of groups, but there are barely occasions where I listen to the album like completely, so even the B-sides. So the albums I'm gonna talk about here today, I just want to say I love every single song of them on here, and or there are a few B-sides on there that I absolutely just love a lot. It's just I have a lot of favorite albums, but I didn't want to like make a whole video with like 20 albums or else it's gonna be way too long, so I cut it down to my top 8 favorite albums. I'm not gonna go through like lowest to highest ranking. I'm just gonna grab them very randomly and tell you guys why I love this album so much. And yeah, so if you want to know what my favorite K-pop albums are, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I just realized, like, I literally, out of the 8 albums I have here to talk about, I only have one girl group album, and the rest are all boy group albums. And it's not that I don't like girl groups, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love girl groups. I stand a lot of girl groups. It's just I don't have a lot of girl group albums. The majority of my collection is mainly boy group albums, and there are a few boy groups that I actually used to collect their albums of, like with BTS, Stray Kids, ateez. I used to collect all their albums, but last year I decided to stop collecting some boy group albums. So the only boy group albums I'm always like buying constantly are enhypens. That's why I say, don't get me wrong, I just love girl groups as well. It's just I don't have a lot of girl group albums, or not a lot of girl group albums that are really in my favorites list. So we're gonna talk about it later. So let's get on with the first 2 albums I want to talk about, because they are both of my favorite group of all time. My number 1 is, yes, you guys will guess it, it's enhypen. So I have 2 enhypen albums here, which I absolutely love so much. Actually, I love their whole discography, and if I could, I would include all the enhypen albums here in this video. But I really had to make a top 2, so I picked these albums. So I'm gonna start with this one. This is enhypen Border Carnival. This is their first comeback album, so this is their second album. It has the title track Drunk Days on it, and I love that song so much. I think it's like my favorite title track and my favorite enhypen song ever, but I feel like Bliskers is sort of topping it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I love this album so much, and all the B-sides on here are amazing as well. Like, can we talk about Fever? Because that song is just a chef's kiss. If you don't know Fever, then you're probably living under a rock, because literally even non-enhypen fans know that song. So, and also I love the other songs on here, like Not For Sale and Mixed Up. Those are also very great B-sides, and it's so funny because I've been an enhypen stan since debuted. Not like the very first day or since Island. It's just, I think around January 2021 I decided to stand enhypen. So this was also my first comeback with them, and I remember I was so excited about the teasers, and when the song came out I was just blown away by it, because Drunk Days is just literally not just chef's kiss, it's just a 5-star Michelin. Like, oh my god. So that's why I love this album so much, and not only with the songs but also just the packaging of this album. If we're gonna talk about the packaging, like, it's so great. You just open it like this, and I love it because I remember with Border Day 1 I just absolutely hated the packaging. I am gonna be honest about it, and I think a lot of people agreed with me as well, because of the whole plastic thing and how I had to get out the stuff. Like, it was just so inconvenient. So I was so happy that they just decided to do a packaging like this for this album. And also the concepts of this era were just amazing. With the whole, we had a royal theme, we had like a hype theme, like with the whole party thing as you saw in the Drunk Days music video, and then you had this upside down concept thing. So yeah, overall I love this album so much, and I really miss the Border series of enhypen. Like, I love the Dimension series, but yeah, Border series really was something else, especially Carnival. So yeah. And then the second enhypen album I want to talk about is their recent release, which is Dimension Answer. It's actually the repackage of their album Dimension Dilemma, which they released back in October. So Yeah, the only thing which is different about Dimension Dilemma is there are 2 new songs on there, which are Blessed Cursed and Polaroid Love. And the reason why I want to include this album instead of Dimension Dilemma, even though they're pretty similar, but it's just I really love Blessed Cursed and Polaroid Love, so I want to include this album. And it's just I also love Blessed Cursed. That song was amazing. I actually have a reaction video of that on YouTube. Like, I vlogged that day and I did a reaction on enhypen's Blessed Cursed, so you can check that out if you want to. Yeah, and also with Polaroid Love, I remember when they performed it for the first time at Connect Companion. Like, oh my god, that song was just, I literally had to cry every time I was listening to it because it was so beautiful. So when they announced there was going to be a studio version of it, I was like, I was just so happy, and literally it makes me happy every time I listen to that song. So, and I actually love all the other songs as well, like Tame Dashed, and like the songs they were on Dimension Dilemma. I think my favorite B-side has to be Go Big or Go Home, because I remember when the highlight medley of the tracklist came out for Dimension Dilemma, I heard Go Big and Go Home and I was like, oh my god, this whole EDM club sound. I just really love those types of songs. So I have to say Go Big or Go Home is definitely my favorite B-side. And I also love Just a Little Bit, or more known as Molasso. Attention Please. I literally love every single song on this album. So if we're gonna talk about the packaging, I also really like this packaging. You just pull out stuff like this. It has a photo book, and then you have this like folder thingy with all the inclusions in there. So yeah, really love this album as well. So the next 2 albums are from my other favorite boy group, which is BTS. So let's go talk about those. I'm first gonna show this album, which is You Never Walk Alone. It's the repackage of their Wings album, and I have to say, Wings era is definitely one of my favorite BTS eras ever, because I think Blood, Sweat and Tears is literally one of my #1 favorite BTS songs. Yeah, definitely it is Blood, Sweat and Tears. And but it's just the reason why I included this repackaged album instead is, first of all, I also really love Spring Day and Not Today. Like, Not Today, when I heard it for the first time, I was like, oh my god, this is my shit. Like, this is my shit. So I literally love that song so much. I was just blown away by it. But the reason why I included this album in my favorites is because this is actually my first K-pop album ever, along with another one which I'm gonna show you guys later. If you watch my photo card collection, you'll probably know what album I'm talking about. If you haven't watched my photo card collection, I would say check that out as well. So, but this is literally my first K-pop album I've ever bought, along with the other one, and that was in 2018 when my electronics store decided to sell K-pop albums. So I bought this one along with the other one, which I'm going to show you guys later. That's why I included this album in my favorites, because yeah, it's literally, it is special. Like, it's your first physical K-pop album, so it really is something special to me, and I literally love every single song on here. And also, I really love BTS, their solo songs on this album. I think my favorite solo song is maybe Lie by Jimin, or Stigma by Taeyang. But I also love Begin from Jungkook. Like, it's just, I love all the songs on here. Like, not only the solo ones, but also the group ones. And I also love Lost, which is also a very great song. So yeah, that's why I included this album, and I really love it. And I also really love the whole concept. Like, it is so beautiful. Like, if I just like look through it, I just already get so happy, because literally before enhypen came in my life, BTS was literally my old group. Yeah, I really love this. Let me just show you. I really love it. Like, yeah. And I included another BTS album in my favorites because it's also just, I literally love every single song on here, and I just love it so much, which is Map of the Soul 7. Like, I remember when this album came out, I was literally so excited, because also Map of the Soul Persona was such a very great album when it came out. Like, I was listening to it non-stop, and when they came out with Map of the Soul 7, I was so happy, because yeah, I just really love every single song on here, and also the solo ones. I really think I have to say literally my favorite solo song on this one is Inner Child from Taeyang. Like, I literally cry every time I listen to it, and it's such a beautiful song. And I also love Friends from Jimin and Taeyang, and My Time from Jungkook. What else? Oh, I also love Ego by J-Hope. It's literally, I think, also one of my favorite solo songs because it's just so uplifting and happy, and just everything from Hobie, it's just beautiful. And yeah, I just literally love every single song on here. I do have to say, like, I don't know personally what to think of this like very big packaging and how they didn't sort of really include a photo book this time. It was mostly like sort of how do you say it? It was sort of like loose posters which were like the photo book. So I don't know if I have to say if I'm a big fan of that, but yeah, I really love this concept. Fun fact, I actually pre-ordered this at my electronics store, which I used to buy K-pop albums from. I still do sometimes, but this is the version 3, and I remember that my preference was either version 2 or version 3, but it was very randomly provided. So when I picked up my order that it was version 3, I was super happy because I really love that concept. I can show you guys. It's like with this whole like sort of last meal thing. Is that how you call it in the Bible? Like something like that. I just really love that whole concept, and yeah, that's why I love this album so much. And yeah, those were it for my favorite BTS albums. So the next album I want to talk about is my other very first K-pop album, which is XOXO. And also the reason why this is very like special and a favorite of mine is because EXO used to be my very first K-pop group I ever stan, and EXO is how I actually got into K-pop. I actually have a whole video doing a whole story time about how I got into K-pop, so if you want to check that out as well, then make sure to check it out. And in that video I also explained how EXO was actually the group that got me into K-pop. So yeah, and this is their album XOXO. It's the repackaged album, the one with Growl on it as title track. And it was actually during this era that I got into EXO and into K-pop. But yeah, I bought this album in 2018 at my electronics store together with that BTS You Never Walk Alone album. So because when I saw this, I was like, I have to get it just for sentimental purposes, because yeah, like it's such a great memory, and I just literally love all the songs on this album as well. I think my favorite B-side has to be Let Out the Beast and Black Pearl. Oh, I also love Peter Pan. I literally love that song so much. Like, I literally love a lot of songs on here. And yeah, and it's also like, it's just like they were OT12 at that time. Even though we don't really talk about OT12 EXO anymore, it's just, I don't know, it's just like still a sort of special time where they were still like with 12, and now I could say I own this album when they were still with 12. So yeah, I really love this album, and obviously since EXO is my very first K-pop group I ever got into, I was like, I at least have to own an album of them, and it especially had to be this one because this was actually the first EXO era as a K-pop stan. So yeah. Okay, so the next album I'm gonna talk about is this one from ateez. This is Treasure Epilogue Action to Answer, and I literally love ateez's entire discography. I love their music so much. I love them so much. Like, I actually became an ateez during their first comeback, which was with Say My Name. I wasn't like a stan of them right at the beginning of debut. It's just I discovered them during their Say My Name era, and I was like, yo, I love this. Like, it's funny because the reason how I actually discovered them was during an episode of the Fine Bros on YouTube. I think their YouTube channel is called React now, but when they were still the Fine Bros, ateez were guests on this video, which was like Try Not to Sing challenge or something like that. So I watched that video of them, and I was like, wait, those guys are like pretty cool and funny and nice and just very, I don't know, it's just something really drew me to them. And when I heard their songs, Treasure and Say My Name, I was like, wait, they also have really amazing songs. So I really felt like I had to check them out, and I was literally listening to those songs a whole lot of times during the beginning of 2019. So that's how I actually got into ateez, and I'm actually so happy that I'm seeing them live in Amsterdam on the 12th of May, which was supposed to be in 2020, but thank you Miss Rhoda for ruining it. I hate you. So and I also have VIP tickets, which means I'm gonna meet them after the concert, which I'm so happy about. But yeah, back to the album. The reason why I picked this one as my favorite is because I love every single song on there. Don't get me wrong, I love all the other albums as well, but it's just this one is just First of all, I love the title track, which is Answer. Like literally it makes me so emotional, and it gives me goosebumps every time I listen to that song, because it's just so beautiful. And it's just, oh my god, it's just such a beautiful song. And I actually also really love the B-sides, like Horizon. That song is just, oh my god, I hope they're gonna perform it at the concert, because I'm gonna get loose when they're gonna perform that song, because it's so good. And also I love Precious and Star 1117. That song is so beautiful, because it's a song dedicated to Ateez, and yeah, it's just such a beautiful song. So that's why, so I literally love every single song of this album, so that's why I included this in my favorites. So yeah, the final boy group album I want to talk about is TXT. This is the Dream Chapter Eternity album, and the reason why I love this album so much is because, yeah, I just literally love all the songs on there, and I really love Can't You See Me. I remember I literally listened to this album every single day, but seriously, TXT really doesn't have any bad songs. Like, I also really love the album, what's it called again? I have to look it up, because I actually literally forgot how it's called. Oh, it's called the Chaos Chapter Freeze. The one with I Know I Love You as title track, and songs like Anti-Romantic and Magic. Like, I literally love that album so much. I remember when it came out last year, I was listening to it non-stop every single day, because literally all the songs on that album are just chef's kiss. But the reason why it's not included in this video is because I do not own the physical album of that one, because at some point after Blue Hour I also decided to stop collecting TXT their albums, so that's why I don't have it. So, and this is like my second favorite album, and I do have a physical copy of this one, so that's why I included this one in this video. Yeah, I literally love all the songs so much. I also love Drama. I think that's Drama and Puma. Literally Drama and Puma are my favorite songs in there. And also, can we talk about Eternally? Because that song is just, I think everyone, when they listened to Eternally for the first time, they were just so surprised by that sudden plot twist at like the chorus. Like, it's such a beautiful, slowly song, and then it becomes like hardcore rock stuff, and then you're like, whoa, what is this? Like, that's Eternally is really a song you can like rickroll people with. So, oh yeah, and what I also really love about the TXT album, it's just, and I don't think any other K-pop album has ever done this before, like just this one with like the lock on it. Like, you really have to save the key very well, because I think since the key is so small, you can easily like lose it. So, but yeah, I just really like it. But it's just every time I want to look through the album, that I really have to like grab the key the whole time. It's either something you love or hate, but it's just, I really find like a very cute, nice detail. So that's why I also love this album, because of this like lock thing. So yeah, I know a lot of people actually probably do not like the lock on it, but I just actually really like it. So it's like opening a new dimension or something like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so yeah, I literally love this album. I love the concept, and yeah, that's why I included this album. So, and I really love TXT, so yeah. And finally, the last album I'm gonna talk about is a girl group album, and it's this one from Blackpink. This is the Square Up album, the one with Do 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 as title track. And I literally love all the other B-sides on here, like Forever Young, Really, and See You Later. Like, it was either between this one or the Kill This Love album, but I have to say I actually really preferred the B-sides on here a lot more than on Kill This Love and the album. So that's why I picked this one. And yeah, I remember when this came out, I was literally listening to the whole album on repeat, because I really loved it. And actually Blackpink used to be my old girl group, but they still are my one of my favorite girl groups, but I cannot really say that they're like my olds now. Like, I think it has become twice, to be honest, but Blackpink is literally still one of my favorite girl groups, and it's just not really the old position anymore. So yeah. Okay, so back to the album. I love this so much, and yeah, I really like Blackpink, and it's just the packaging of this album is just very simple. You just pull it out like this, and then you can basically like have the CD over here and this. So I really love simple packaging like this. So yeah, that's it for this album. So yeah, these were my favorite K-pop albums of all time. If you guys want me to make another one of this video, maybe I'll do an updated one later, and maybe one with more K-pop albums, and I really hope more girl groups this time. So if you like this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and of course subscribe. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I see you next time in a new video. Bye bye!